Political parties and the Parliamentary Budget Office are proposing a raft of policy strategies to invigorate growth and stabilise debt levels to below 50% of GDP. Cost containment and the sale of assets top the list of these proposals. Our reporter Abra Barbier has more on this. Abra, let's first start with the expenditure. I believe that the parties want to see that go below inflation level. What were the proposals on how to achieve this?
Chippy, so hi. I can tell you what happened at the Communications Committee this morning, where the SABC board was under discussion. Earlier in January, the committee was expected to sit down and shortlist, because you know we do have 8 vacancies within the SABC board. And that shortlisting was supposed to take place earlier this month. That was agreed towards the end of last year by the committee. And opposition parties were not happy that the process had been taking so long. And in fact, today at the committee, opposition parties accused the ANC of dragging their feet on the matter because they were hoping to at least have shortlisted candidates. Because as you know, Parliament rises in little over a month, I think, so that MPs can go out and start electioneering for their various parties. So the committee today started out with a bit of toing and froing between the DA and the ANC about why the process has dragged its feet or why the process has taken this long. Essentially, people were going to ask me something.
Yes, you can go on. Let's talk about those members, 233 of them. Who tops the list?
We don't have names. At the moment, shortlisting still has to take place. A program has not been cast in stone. This is what opposition parties were hoping for, but the program has not been cast in stone because key, not committee members, but key staff members on the Communications Committee were not available today, and they, of course, play a key role in all of the admin of the committee. So while a program has not been cast in stone, members loosely agreed that going forward, they're hoping to get the CVs later this week, within the next 2 days, and they're hoping to shortlist next Tuesday, and then they're going to interview the week thereafter. Now, because there are 8 vacancies, they're looking to interview 3 people per vacancy, so around 24 interviews will take place. And if you look at it, if you're going to budget for 8 hours a day, the interviews will probably take place over 3 days. So these MPs have their work cut out for them because this process has to be done before Parliament rises in March.
Just a final one, Abra. I know, as you say, the process hasn't been completely outlined yet, but is there a sense of whether or not it will be finalized prior to the elections?
Yes, that's what has to happen. Of course, this is where the contention comes in. There's been talk about the dissolution of the board, and opposition parties are really fighting, saying, no, we can't have that. We need to have a permanent board in place for the election. We can't have an interim board. That has been the huge bone of contention between, or at least what opposition parties have been saying. So what we heard today, the committee advisor said that the process can be finalized by the end of March. So it should, that's what they're aiming for. It should be done before the elections, yes.
All right, Abra, thank you very much. Our reporter, Abra Barbier. And